Hey everybody, this is your Right Geek and Honorary Man King, here with another update video. I'm still fine, this is still just pollen, allergy, cough, I don't feel sick at all. Everything is still good here in our suburban bunker here in Northern Virginia. We're still well stocked with supplies, and still chilling and catching up on our reading, and so on. Today I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little random Star Trek discussion real quick. This was inspired by your boy Zach's review of Generations, in which he mentioned offhand Data's emotions chip, and that reminded me that in my view, my thesis is that Data didn't need an emotions chip. That, on the contrary, he already had emotions from almost the very beginning. Said emotions were very subtle, yes, but they were emotions all the same. Consider, for instance, the episode Skin of Evil. That's the one in which Tasha Yar dies. At Tasha's funeral at the end, Data arguably expresses grief at her passing, as he says to Picard, "I keep thinking how empty it will be without her presence." So, quick question, does your toaster notice when you're gone? Does your Alexa? We can also closely examine the seminal episode The Measure of a Man. When Maddox first visits the Enterprise bridge, Data's reaction is quite fascinating. Indeed, he's clearly displaying unease. And when he explains the reason for his apparent nervousness, that Maddox once argued he was not sapient, his demeanor there suggests he's undergoing something more than a mere retrieval of data. This, by the way, backs up what he says to Maddox later, that he transcends engineering. Reflect. What could Data mean when he claims his memories contain an essence beyond simple information? And how do we experience that essence? Of course, we also have one of the most famous scenes in The Measure of a Man, in which Picard unpacks Data's carry-on for the benefit of the JAG officer and everyone else present at Data's hearing. Every item in that bag demonstrates Data's capacity to feel. That he packed his medals, for example, shows that he's capable of pride. And that he's packed Picard's book and Tasha's farewell message reveals his sentimentality. Data, throughout the canon, also expresses desires for marriage and family. In one episode, he even builds himself a daughter. And he's obviously cognizant of his own uniqueness and the loneliness that engenders. True, he doesn't instinctively understand humor and sarcasm, and he frequently has trouble predicting how people will respond to his well-meaning attempts to interact on a human level. But that doesn't mean he's emotionless. There are a lot of actual people that have autism spectrum disorders or just trouble socializing with others that also have those issues as far as understanding humor and as far as predicting how people are going to respond when they interact. So there's not being able to predict how people will respond doesn't mean you're emotionless. So in my view, there was nothing fundamentally wrong with Data that required a patch to fix. He was eminently human, just the way he was. But those of you who are listening, what do you think? Do you think the emotions chip, when they brought it in later, do you think that was superfluous, or do you think that was a necessary addition to the character? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Please comment below.